family, it's Nomsa here at Ngosi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. With me today, I have Claudia Pasa and Dr. Biggett. How are you, ladies?
Very well, thank you. And you, Dr. Birgit?
Doing well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So our topic today is how to keep your New Year resolution momentum going. Claudia, you chose this topic. Would you like to explain the topic to our audience, please?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's every year, or it can happen almost repetitive. It's the new year, and we are all excited, and we use the energy or the consciousness as well to make the goals and to set up the new year for something exciting and so on. And then usually down a few weeks into the new year, it starts to crumble basically as well. And this is why I thought it's good as well to share some of our tips, how we can actually as well reset again and come up and keep going as well in regards to our goals we made at the beginning of this year.
I love that, Claudia. That is very true. There are actually here, I believe in the US, things that I do, I use evidence-based subject and findings. And here we shows that by the third week of January, the 80% of people has already dropped off their New Year resolutions. In other words, they already not catch up with their New Year resolutions. And I think the statistics say some 95 or 97% of people definitely did not make it to a year. So just less than 5% of people who says they want to do something for the new year did not, only about 5% actually do it for the whole year, or whatever the length of durations that they say they're going to do. And so that is it is a beautiful topic on how people just not keeping up with their New Year resolutions, whatever it is. And if you're listening to this, let me ask you, if you make a New Year resolution, then where are you? Where are you with your New Year resolution?
Yes, the thing is as well, what I came up with this year is in regards to I made a detailed plan as well for me, because yes, keep looking back as well, it happened as well to me, just like just to decide it's easier to not pursue them as well. And by this detailed plan, I actually mean I was sitting down and asking myself, okay, so actually when challenges are going to come up in regards to going for my goals, and resistance as well is going to come up. So what will I be doing then? So for example, as well, if your goal is to go running in the new year like 3 times a week, and you already have skipped this week the running as well, or might as well be being prepared as well for when you get sick or you feel unwell as well, like a plan beforehand. What will you be doing when these things happen? Okay, so and the benefit of this is as well like avoiding to being sidetracked. So this is something I set up for me, like a detailed plan beforehand. So what works for you, Dr. Birgit? What's one tip?
I love that. I love that. And that is definitely having a more cautious plan, or a more, I guess I would say, realistic plan, kind of like knowing that, okay, life is not perfect. And so what if ABC, and then you have a second, a backup plan, and that will actually allow people to be able to have, okay, if even if you live in place, say like California, where the weather is supposed to be always nice, but it's not nice for you given you don't like rain, then yeah, you have a backup plan. You don't go running outside, you run inside or something like that. And then also, the kitties want to say something about New Year resolutions. Maybe. What it's going to say is like, oh, but we're going back to sleep. It's 5 a.m. in here. What's your problem? So New Year resolutions. So one is having a backup plan. That's definitely for sure. And then the other for me to have an accountability partner. And not a huge party, because a huge party means you disappear in that party and then you kind of like, so in other words, what I mean by not a huge party is 10 people or something like that, not a large group, because if it is a large group, then you kind of like, oh, if I don't do it, if it's a 10-person running group and you're like, I don't do it, I don't feel bad because there are 9 people going together and nobody gonna miss me. And so it's not something like that, but it is actually a small 2-3 people camaraderie, at the most 4. So if your presence not there, they'll notice you. And you feel, and even better if your camaraderie are somebody, accountability partner, are somebody who you revered very much, you highly respect very much. And this is what, because there is a study, and this is the study actually, given my background as a grief specialist, evidence-based grief specialist, the study is showing on people who experience heart attack. And in people who experience significant heart attack and have heart surgery and all these things, and they say, okay, you got heart attack, you need to change your diet and you need to start exercising, and then this. So they give them a list of things to do. So they are able to stay alive more than 2 years. and so the cost of this is not just I want to look good. The cost of this is you stay alive or you don't stay alive. And in that study, they show that even with that, even when the consequence is your life, less than more than 80% fail after just about 2 to 3 months. It lasted a lot longer, 2 to 3 months than 2 to 3 weeks. But 80% fail, and about 80% did not follow the plan that's provided by their health care provider for heart conditions. But when they change that and they put those people with accountability partner, or those people find an accountability partner on their own, particularly if they have an accountability partner for similar conditions, then the success rate on following the plan is more than 80%. So have yourself an accountability partner. I'm very grateful. There's something that last year I was like, I never even really started it. And this year I started it, I decided, I do it right away. And then just like that, the universe give me 4 accountability partner on people whom I highly respect and revered. So, that, and then the last thing I would say is, and I love to hear both of your opinion on this. If you're going to make a New Year resolutions, sometimes it's something we decide to do, sometimes else. But in other words, you say, oh, you know what? On Monday, I'm going to start doing this. Or this might be something that you decide last year on doing something. And then you say, oh, when the new year comes, I'm going to do ABC. So the last thing is, don't make a New Year resolution. First, you can't fail, but really, Dr. Michael Beckwith, who is a very known and knowledgeable and skillful reference and coach, say you cannot decide for the future. You cannot decide for the future, even if the future is tomorrow. you cannot decide for the future, because if you're already, I don't want to start now because I still want to be able to wait to sleep in until 9, and therefore I'm going to start next week. It shows that your motivations and your urgency is not that strong already. If it is, you're going to start now. You can't decide for the future. Decide now and do it right now. And that shows that you really are serious and have urgency, which is the other part in this. What about you, Numsa? What have your experience with New Year resolution?
Sorry, guys, I had to sign for the parcel. Seems to be taking forever because I was swapping with what I had and then he was taking something else. So it seems to be taking like few minutes. I don't do New Year resolution for me because when I used to do New Year resolutions with my friends, we'll get excited for the New Year. Like Christmas time, we'll be talking about, wow, New Year resolution, what are you going to do for New Year? We'll set it up. And then just the second week after, maybe the third week of January, it's all gone. So for me, the whole year for me is a New Year resolution. But what I do is I set goals for the year, what I want to achieve for that year. And once I do that, then I know that every day for me is a New Year resolution. I have to work on my goals and stuff, because we had this similar topic on with the Carol Ann on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. So what I said to her, what I have realized with me, with my New Year resolution, I've been setting up my goals and stuff, but I've not been able to actually get to where I need to be. First of all, the atmosphere that has been affecting my moving forward, and authority. I need to reclaim my authority, because every time, when you get excited, like manifesting for something, and then right at the end of that last day, when I'm like getting excited is my last day, or sometimes I give myself 10 days of prayer or 10 days of manifesting. And then in that last day, somebody will come in with their bad behavior and they will just trigger something. So I've realized that it's been happening for a very long time. It means that I was listening to one of the pastors, they were saying you need to have authority. You cannot, the atmosphere where you are, it has to be right in order for you to reach your goals. And also having authority, it means if I'm getting excited to manifest, anything that comes in, it cannot trigger me to change my feelings. So my feelings, it has to remain the same. So what I've been realizing is that sometimes somebody will bring their false accusation, or sometimes they will bring, or sometimes if some people will just call me and be nasty, and then it will change my feelings and I will react to that situation. So what I've realized is I need to have authority. So which is I'm working on it. This is, I've been working on it the whole January till 7th of February. And also, but with the anointing, I've realized in spirit, I'm very, very strong. Really, really strong, because there was a day, I think like 3 weeks ago, I was praying and God showed me that the anointing is so powerful, but I couldn't realize why am I reaching where I need to be. But then I had this revelation that is the authority that I am lacking. So I need to do that. I don't know if any of our audience are watching. When you create your New Year resolution, the foundation, it has to be strong. The people around you as well, you got to, because people are entitled to think, to have the opinions about what they think about you, but the atmosphere yourself has to be, you cannot have confidence. Because for me, I've realized I have confidence. that is the authority, the foundation of that authority, it has to be really, really strong, where you are in a place where you cannot be triggered by any negativity. And just do that for those who are creating New Year resolution. And Dr. Biggett, you mentioned accountability. It's very, very important to have accountability. And also you mentioned that one of the speakers says you cannot decide for the future. And those are the things 100% that I believe in, that you cannot decide what the future will look like, but you can design it. If it does not work according to what our expectations, it does not mean that that future is not going to look the way you want it. It means you have to keep seeking, you have to keep retweaking things, and also you have to understand that God's timing is not our timing. We might time to manifest 3 weeks, maybe the results will come in 4 weeks, and then we give up in that 3 weeks. So just to make sure that the audience that are watching, that our timing is what is very, very important. Over to you, Claudia.
Absolutely. As well, a little reminder as well for the body system, absolutely, yes. And as well, it's more fun as well to do the things with others rather than by yourself. Or you could as well find a group as well who shares as well the same goal and join the group as well. This could be as well another tip in regards to the body system. So yes, very good tip. And the foundation as well, what you said, NOMSA, is important too. And I like to refer here to knowing and understanding the why I'm going to do this, why I want this to happen for me. And this is something as well we can do as in renewing our motivation, just to be back on track as well, and not to get like disheartened, when something happens. Okay, so basically as well, go and renew your motivation, remind yourself why you're doing this and what are you gaining as well by achieving your goal. And with the why, I like actually to put it as a message on a post-it or somewhere where you can see it when you get a bit like, feeling down about something, something happening or some resistance as well as coming up, that you can go quickly back onto your why. Yeah.
I love that. I love what you both say. The knowing why you want to do your New Year resolutions is very important, because if you're doing something because of somebody, and sometimes you think you're doing something because you wanted it, but when you look at it closer, the reasons behind why you want to do it is someone else, not really you or your heart want to do that, then it will be once something happen, once challenge happen, you're going to give it up. Because and life, the truth is life has so much challenge. When we went through oncology training to become a board certified oncologist, veterinarian board certified oncologist, to say that the training grueling is an underestimation. and they say it very well. You got to really, really, really want to do it for yourself, because otherwise you're going to quit residency. If you don't quit residency, you quit the board certification process, which is just horrendous. And that's very true for everything, because the truth is, whether it's board certifications or losing 10 kilo, or becoming healthy and stay alive after your heart attack, your why need to be strong enough, and it has to come from you. And many times we say, yeah, I want to be looking good, and I want to be doing this, and I want to be doing that. But then why do you want to be looking good? Why do you believe that you're not looking good? Is it because all the magazines outside of you? notice the word outside of you, is because all the movie and the news that you see, the people look and dress and act certain manner. Is that what your heart wants? Because your heart's the strongest organ in your body. It starts before everything starts, and typically it's the last ones to stop. And so what does your heart want? Your heart can override. Nowadays, we know that your heart can override your mind very easily. The signal from your heart is 60 times, up to 60 times stronger and faster than your mind. So if your heart says, I feel I'm okay. I feel I'm in decent shapes and I'm healthy. No, I'm not skinny like a pencil, or have this arm that is double the size of my arm. Now your heart says, I feel I'm okay. And your mind said, I gotta look like that with the my shoulder need to be wider and my waist and all this thing. Your heart say, no, that doesn't sound healthy. Guess what? You're going to have incoherence or disalignment within your own cells, and and your mind will win for about 3 weeks until your heart say, no, let's just stop that. Get over it, and you will stop. And so that is one thing. And I love when you talk about be confident and have triggers. You want to know why you want your New Year resolutions, but you also, if it is something where you have accountability partner and all these things, and you try again and again, and you seems to be just not able to, even with accountability, you're just not doing it, and or something happened and you got triggered, then you want to know why. If you are so resistant, why deep in you are so resistant to it, why you so that you are easier triggered than some other people and some other things. And that a lot of time we say is that our behavior is influenced by our past trauma. And as a grief transformation specialist, I've seen this many times. Things that you don't even necessarily remember happening. One client with me came to me actually for a job loss, a job and all these other things, not even for her weight, but she has been consistently way overweight, even after surgery, for weight loss and coaching and hypnosis and you name it. She could not lose weight, and it was getting to her health as well. She was like more than, and we're talking about weight, she's like somewhere between 50 to 75 kilo or 100 to 150 pounds overweight. Can you imagine? And when we start working together for different reasons, we discover that there is a trauma during her childhood that even after all the therapy apparently did not find out, because it's not something that happened with her personally, but something she witnessed. Excuse me. And this trauma causes her to be afraid of being in good shapes, being in shapes. And we released that trauma within a couple of weeks. And she's been healthy for many, many years now with her weight, at a weight that is healthy for her and she's happy about, and her health is great. So discover why you have so much resistance. If it is something you have accountability partner and all these things, discover, and it's truly something you want, discover why you have so much resistance and do something about it. It's not just you discover and then have an understanding and do nothing about it, but discover why with the correct guides and person who knows how, and then do something about it. It's possible to release whatever it is. Even with this lady who was my client, that was something that happened more than 40 years prior. And you release that within a matter of 3-4 weeks. So know why. I love the both of you. Know why, and why, if you don't have the confidence and know your triggers, but if you don't have the confidence and have a lot of triggers, know why, but also know why you're doing that. Is it truly coming from your heart, or because you're looking at magazines and newspaper?
Yeah.
I like that, Dr. Biggett. It's different when it comes from your heart, and it's also different when you're looking at the magazine and you look at somebody else and you're like, she looks good, I want to look like that. Because at that moment, it means that you just compared yourself with that person and you wouldn't be able to achieve the goals that you want. But if in your heart you have this desire that, you know what, I feel like I'm not in a place where health-wise I need to look, or I just need to put myself out there and start doing exercise because I want to have that big why. Why do you want to do it? And once you have that big why, and you'll be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve because it comes from the heart. It's not coming from you comparing yourself with somebody else. Because that person, they look good, they might be looking good on that magazine because they've worked so hard. Like mostly celebrities, I always say to my friends, celebrities, when they choose the clothes, they go to Oscars, there's planning for what they're going to wear. They bring in people and they will design, they will scratch, they will go for fitting, and then they'll come to a final decision. And if you come in that moment on the magazine and then you say, I like this dress and I'm going to go and buy exactly that, that means it's not really your character, it's not your image, because it's somebody else's image. So I agree with you when you say have that big why and big clarity of what you want. And Claudia, you mentioned the confidence as well. That confidence comes with it. And once you know what you want and what you want to achieve, then you can just decide and go for that. And also, things might not go according to plan because sometimes, like you were saying, Dr. Biggett, we cannot decide for the future. I've seen myself sometimes I plan things and things don't go according to plan, or sometimes I'll plan and I'm gonna go for running and things don't go according to plan. But when I don't go for running, I will do my exercises at home as well. It doesn't mean that I have to stop. I will still do them 5 days a week. Weekend is for my rest. I don't do exercises weekend. So I do my exercises, but I've not created them as a New Year resolution. I've just created because when I go running, do exercises, it helps me with my brain to think. So when I realize actually when you do exercises, they help you to think for the day and get creative and use your imagination. So that was the reason that, you know what, I like to be like that and be able to be on my own and just think. I don't like going to the gym. I get bored. It's boring, like doing the same thing. I can go treadmills fine, but just so there are some things that some people they set it up, and if you actually like you mentioned the heart as well, when your heart desires something, it's very, very important to actually, for me, when my heart desires something, like I'll write things down. Once I use my hand to write it down, that means that's my heart that I desire. And then I have to ask God and say, God, you know what I want to achieve. And regardless of what people say, I will get there eventually. People, I can tell you every dream that I have dreamed that I like, okay, I'm going to do this. Somebody has something negative to say about it, or they'll be like, oh, no, you can't do this. They'll tell me the reason why. But I don't get upset. I have an understanding what to dream, what it means to dream, what it means to desire something, because it's my desire, not somebody else. The other person wouldn't understand what it means for me, what I'm desiring. So when they tell me that you cannot achieve this, all I say is I look at them in their eye and say, with God, I'll get there eventually. It might take me a year, it might take me 2 years, but I will get there eventually. So I know that, so you have to know yourself as well. It's very, very important for what Claudia has said and Dr. Biggery has said, know yourself, your strength and your weaknesses as well in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And also, accountability has to be somebody that you know they want you to succeed. Dr. Biggett has been my accountability partner, and what's his name? Kamau has been my accountability partner as well. I haven't got any accountability partner now because I have so much that I'm doing. So I think I need to get one for now to help me to push me things. So all those things are the things that I really need to do. I've got goals that I need to achieve for 2024. But some of these goals, I'm like, I have to achieve this. But these goals that I want to achieve, there's somebody who is helping me to actually achieve this. We've signed a contract of helping each other to achieve the goals. So this person is actually helping me to market the products, and I am doing my work as well. I'll go with Sai, I do the work, and then after that I implement. So, and that's the goals. And if anyone is watching out there, like these guys, what they've said, know yourself and stick to that decision, because sometimes people can talk you out of your dreams or your goals, thinking that you are not enough. For me, I'm not in that stage where people can talk me out. Before, I think they will succeed, but now I just don't listen. I listen to somebody that comes with a point for me to grow and that wants me to make changes moving forward. That say, Nomsa, have you tried this? Those kind of critics, I listen to them. But anyone else that says you can't do this, you can't do this, I'm like, okay. Claudia.
Yeah. Absolutely, I'm exactly the same. In the past, I would have been the one who, would have just dropped it. But these days as well, I do understand that everyone has their opinion and they always want to give you advice. But obviously, people are giving you advice through their lenses and through their experiences and everything. So I would take it as well with pinch of salt, and ideally as well, I prefer to stay with the cheerleaders and to stay away from the naysayers. So yeah, I'm the same here. I like to mention something for resistance as well, because it might come up, or actually as well expect it to come up. Be prepared, especially if the goal or desire or the resolution is something new, something you haven't done or tried or been there before. Because like this as well, it's important to understand as well, when we step into something new, something out of our comfort zone, the brain, a primitive part of the brain, it's job to keep us safe. So it will come up with the fear stories and resistance as well, not to keep us going there, because it wants to keep us in our comfort zone or in our familiar zone, basically as well. And once we understand this as well, then we can be prepared for the resistance and the triggers to come up. And then as well, when they come up, please, as well as Dr. Birgit said as well, do something around it. Don't ignore them, because they will be looping in your system until the next situation. And then if you haven't released them or turned them around into some empowering programming, then they will still be looping around and just waiting for the next situation or person to come into your life, and they will be here again. So yes, just please keep that in mind. something else as well. Yeah, just like as well, if you are into journaling, you know, if you like to sit down and to write down what's going on as well within your experience and going for what it is you want, then just write as well about your successes and as well the struggles as well on the way that you might find as well, because setbacks are common reasons why people are giving up on their resolutions as well. So just like by keeping a journal, you might know when a relapse has occurred, what was going on back then in your life, or how you were feeling on that particular time or day as well. Just like, and then you might understand as well where your triggers are lying in regards to this, because then you can be prepared as well and do them differently next time as well. Just like to understanding as well your internal world and everything, what is going on inside of you.
I love that. I love where you say to journal and keep track of your progress, because sometimes we do get discouraged and we feel that, oh, we have and it's kind of like many times we have this thing of, okay, we want to earn $2 million a year, or we want to lose 50 pounds or 22 kilos or something like that. And then so you kind of like looking at this, and then you every day you're like, oh my God, I'm eating this and I'm jogging this, and or I'm working so much in my own in your business or in your work, whatever reason that you're doing that, and you're just like, it's just nowhere closer, and we get discouraged. And it's normal for people. And at the same times, when you focus on your daily win, for some of my clients, we always, when we meet, we say, it's what's your win this week? Because it's if you want to go in here, if you want to go from Los Angeles to New York, talking about visiting the US earlier before we start this, and that's quite a distance. That's more than a day's drive. And if you just say, oh, I'm not getting anywhere, well, the truth is, you're driving along, you know, it's easy to get discouraged. You're like, oh my God, how many hours of drive? It's gonna be to 15 hours and all these things. And so yes, you want to celebrate yourself, celebrations, and writing down your win. And this is the part of the accountability partner as well. If it's accountability partner whom you're sharing the same journey, you could have accountability partner of people who you revere strongly, so you respect strongly, and you kind of like, if I don't do this, I look like a fool in front of them, or they're going to do something. You know, you lost your job, so to say, if your accountability partner's your boss, right? And but if it is not, then celebrate together, celebrate each other, and celebrate together. Celebration is good for the heart and good for the mind. And write down your win every day. You write down your win every day. And sometimes a win simply is, oh, you have something happen in your life, and then that, yeah, you did not go to the gym for 2 weeks because perhaps you sprained your leg or something like that. But then maybe in that 2 weeks, because you're not able to go to the gym to run on the treadmill, you did some stretches at home. Many times people forget to celebrate that win and effort that you did some stretches at home. You stretch your calf and things like that. And so when you're able to, you do go back to the gym. And so celebrate yourself and that way, and be for me, I also say it, being a grief specialist, to be a heart with ears for yourself. So if something's really happened in your life that is really significant, you want to do something, for instance, you want to go to the gym and then somebody in your family becomes severely ill, or you injured yourself severely, then be hard with ears instead of berating yourself and say, well, yes, there was a death in the family, but the funeral was last week. I'm still not back in the gym this week. Oh, I'm such a non-disciplined and all this thing. Or, well, yes, I did hurt my leg, but now I'm back on this, and I'm not doing this, and I'm not. We're very good in criticizing ourselves for multiple reasons, being human, and at the same time, us criticizing ourselves not going to motivate you, to get moving and do better. This is a brain study, this is a neuropsychology, and your system are trained to feed on positivity, even though our focus are trained to go to the negative, which is kind of really interesting with human. But your system trained to grow and focus and response to positivity. And so you berating yourself will only shut down that system, while if you celebrate yourself, if you say, I have not been going back to the gym, but you know what? After all these things that happen, I'm getting ready and I'm taking a step of this, and yay to me, then your systems will do that. And I think this is Carl Jung or somebody that says what you do, your system will feed on that positivity, and then you kind of like feel good. Okay, so I think I can do this because I take the first baby step, take the second baby step, take the third baby step, and celebrate each baby step the way you celebrate for anybody who ever has a baby and raise a baby, or have nephew, nieces, or somebody who is a young kid. You kind of celebrate them when they first start walking. You're like, yay, okay, look at you, you're walking, yay, good for you. And then, yes, you can do it. And then they fell down and they sit there and they cry, and you're like, no, you're okay, you're doing awesome, keep going. But as adult, we are here and we like, you take 3 steps and you don't even acknowledge yourself. And then once you fell down, you're like, look at you. You're just now good. You're just not a walker. Really? So celebrate yourself and know why you do it, and make sure it's come from your heart, and also know your core values, because knowing your core values can really, really help you focus on what is important for you and help you succeed.
Agree with you, Dr. Bigot. I come to Claudia. Claudia, you said you prefer to be with around cheerleaders and people that are going to cheer you up. I think that's really very, very important, to be around people that can motivate you. And also you mentioned fear as well. Actually, I was like, when I'm doing like a coaching now with Sai, I'm realizing that I had goals that I have written, but because of the goals that I want to reach, there's been a little bit of fear. Where am I going to fit in with my family, or am I going to fit in with my friends if I reach these goals, which create a little fear in my subconscious mind, unknowingly, without me knowing. So I had to change my mindset that this is where I need to be, and whatever I will do, whatever it takes. And then I have to really have that big why. And then I have to think about if I don't achieve these goals, how am I going to feel at the end of it? And also journaling, you mentioned journaling, and your journey within as well. That is very, very important to connect. And Dr. Bigot, you mentioned that sometimes we do get discouraged to reach our goals, which is very, very important to make sure that we are not being discouraged, because people can actually talk us out of what we want to achieve. Or sometimes we just want people to affirm that we are good enough, or when the minute somebody criticizes us, we don't want to do those goals. We are like, oh, but people are saying negative things. What I've realized in my journey of life, no matter how hard you try, people will always have something to say negative, even if it's positive. So what you need to do is like what Dr. Bigot was saying, what does your heart desire as a person? For me, what I do, the attitude that I have, it has helped me to be where I am today, mindset-wise, and being able to stand and reclaim my authority is knowing what I want and knowing that I'm not alone. Every decision that I take, I know that I'm never alone. I know I'm with God. God is with me. And I know that there's 2 people or 3 people that will stand by me. It's like at Ngozi talk shows. I know there's coaches that just like to mourn. They've never put anything in it. They will just like to mourn and mourn. But there are some coaches like, so we have your back. And they will just say things to motivate me. Make sure that I move forward, make sure that I keep implementing things. And those are the things that you have to be aware of, that this is my cheerleader. And just don't worry about people criticizing it and just keep going. And Dr. Bigot, you mentioned about celebrating every moment, small achievement or big achievement, celebrate it. I put the website, the new website went up 2 days, was it 2 days ago? And somebody else called me and said, oh, Nomsa, I've realized on your website, you've added boot camp and some coaching on your website. Now it's like official. We know that you do the coaching with the dating. And it was like, are you up for an award? I was like, hey, that's so quick. I was like, calm down a minute. Yeah, and it was like, I'm going to send you the details of the award that we are thinking of. We've been thinking about it with you. So, but now we went on the website because this woman, this company, they're like a stalker. They're like stalking me. Anything that get published by the web designers, I get to be told by email, oh, you've updated this. I'm like, oh, what is that then? Then it's on the website. They're like, that's why they say, whatever you do, you never know who is watching behind, or whatever you post, or like today we are speaking, we don't know who is listening. So they always do that. So when I was talking to them, they're like, okay, are you up for an award? So we're going to send you the information to have a look. And it made me realize that actually there are some people out there who actually recognize the value of what we do as a person. But the Ngozi Talk Shows coach were mourning. I've not actually put the comment that I'm going to put it. I've sent it to the web designers, the comment that they've sent to me by text that about it was just a positive comment to say that is amazing. So I've not put in Ngozi Talk Shows. Some of the coaches were mourning. I was like, these guys just need to be grateful because we're moving forward. And I have this feeling that things that 2024 is going to be different for us. We will see challenges coming our way. We'll see joy coming in our way. And we are ready for challenges, aren't we, girls? We're always ready for challenges. We set goals, guys. The advice from us at Ngozi Talk Show, set goals. And also know that the challenges will come your way. But when they do come, just say, oh, okay, it's one of them. Just take action. And some of them We don't have control over them. We can change the ones we can change, but there are some things that in life we can't change. But we're so excited, really, really excited. These coaches are looking forward to implement new things and traveling, doing boot camp. We're just so excited. I'm just so excited myself. So, or any words of encouragement, guys, before we go? Or do you want to add anything, Claudia?
Some encouragement as well in regards to just like, please remember that change is a process and be patient with yourself, okay? Because it is as well always, how are you talking to yourself? You know, what's your self-talk in regards to the whole process of going for it and achieving them as well? And it's not a race to the finish. Remember this as well. It happens, and it's about the journey where we get the learnings, the aha moments and everything, and where we as well get to know ourselves. That's me.
Dr. Birgit?
I love that, Claudia. And I would say my word of encouragement is that it is possible for anyone and everyone to change and for you to accomplish what it is that you would love. If at this point you have tried and you still not be where you want to be, then keep trying in a different way. If you haven't been allowing support, then start allowing professional support. If you have been allowing professional support, then look somewhere else for somebody who's able to give you the result. And so that would be my word of encouragement. It's possible. Everything's possible as long as you receive the correct support and the correct guidance with the correct person.
I agree with Dr. Birgit. I've just put the comment that somebody sent me on the WhatsApp group before I forget. So yeah, I agree with Dr. Birgit and Claudia, guys. If you need support, you know where to go at Ngozi Talk Shows. That's what we are here for, to support you, to actually help you achieve your dreams. And if you want to connect with us, you can go to the website www.hseia.com and try just for coaching, make some inquiries. There is a calendar there. If you want to speak to somebody, you can just book a slot and make some inquiry and speak to somebody about your goals, what you want to achieve. Or simply, if you want to create a New Year resolution, to create a plan. Or if you want to do the coaching, we do the coaching as well. We have different coaches if you need coaching. And also, if you're looking for love, is there as well, where you can just sign up and get in touch, and we'll be able to help you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Live with grace, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and God bless.